What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Sideline, the Sideline. I'm the NFL genius, Gene Walzek, and right next to me, it's the man that's not guarding the two. He's guarding the three, Mr. Brett Gardy 3. What's happening tonight, Brett?
Oh, not much. Hey, I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here, talk football. We got some Thursday night football tonight. It's going to be a great night tonight.
Are you working Sunday?
Sunday, yes.
I asked because I know that the Packers have a bye, and you probably would have figured out a way to get out of work if the Packers didn't have a bye. So, bye week for the Packers. How do you feel walking into the bye?
You know what? Overall, every season's going to have its up and downs. I do think there's some adjustments that need to be made, but can't complain with a 2-1-1 start. We're on the right track. We're keeping our head above water here in a tough division. So, like I said, there's some things I hope we change out of the bye. I hope Matt LaFleur picks his spots, one to be aggressive better. I need our special teams to be better and our offensive line. But overall, let's see I hope we fix that out of the bye.
I think the interesting part about the Packers is they've looked so dominant in their first two games, their first two wins. And then after that, their next two games, they just, they were dominating versus the Browns and end up, losing that game, which is shocking to me. And then the part that I guess stands out even more is I felt like Sunday should have been a blowout. I felt like they should have absolutely waxed the Dallas Cowboys, a team that went into Chicago and got bullied around, and 40-40. Granted, apparently Dak played well. I don't know. I guess he did. But Jordy would jump off the deck to be 2-1-1, though.
Yeah.
The intro's fire.
It's one of those things that I can't even – there's to an extent, Dak just played insanely well, right? Like, under pressure, I think he was, pressured. I think it was either 10 or 12 times, and he only had one incompleted pass through for, 164 and a touchdown. That was one of those games where a lot of quarterbacks would have faltered with some of the pressure that we got on Dak, but he really just stepped up and made a big play after big play, even with guys in his face. So I just wanted to give a ton of credit to Dak with how he showed up, because that looked like an all-pro quarterback who showed up to play Sunday night.
He did. I think that the Packers bailed him out a little bit. I think that the way that, first of all, I think the way that the pressure got after Dak got rid of the ball quickly. But if you're going to have pressure getting after the quarterback, I don't think Green Bay had problems getting pressure on him, and he was definitely mobile in the pocket. But the part that stood out to me was the Packers' coverage. And it felt like that they didn't do a good job at the cornerback position. And I felt like the line and the secondary weren't in sync. What I mean by that is if you're blitzing, you need to press coverage. You can't allow Dak to have that check down route if you're going to be putting pressure on the quarterback. Yes, he did make the right decisions. He did. But in that same respect, I think Green Bay's secondary kind of let them down in that game.
Absolutely. And I completely agree with that, especially the one play that jumped out to me that I got the most mad at maybe is when Dak just threw a prayer up to, I believe it was Turbin, and he came back for the ball, made a great catch on the sideline, and Keyshawn Nixon's just standing 10 yards away in the end zone, just kind of gave up on the play. So the secondary, which was great for the first couple weeks, they definitely have to be a lot better going forward if we want to reach our true potential.
Jordan Love looked good. 31 of 43, 337, 3 touchdowns. But I guess the part that most frustrated me about Jordan Love and about the Packers is, Guardy 3, is it me or were they playing for a tie? I felt like the Packers were playing to tie the game at the end of the game.
And that's kind of why I got frustrated too, right? And that's a big reason why I mentioned coaching and Matt LaFleur picking his spots, because when we have the ball at the 25-yard line, a minute 16 left, that we shouldn't be taking multiple shots into the end zone. Jordan Love was absolutely dicing up that Cowboys defense, but yeah, we just spammed RPOs and kept throwing behind the line of scrimmage instead of attacking vertically. So it was just, as much as I like Matt LaFleur, it was just scared play calling by him. It was as soon as that screen got blown up, he was just done. And the only shot we got into the end zone was Jordan Love seemingly just getting frustrated and calling a no huddle that, quite frankly, almost lost us the game because the time almost ran out on it. But Matt LaFleur definitely has to be better picking his spots going forward.
Other games that happened this past week, I felt like I felt like the NFL was weird this past Sunday. And what I'd say about it, I think they have a lot of injury problems, a lot of injuries across the league. Baltimore is basically playing with a practice squad. You look at the situation happening in San Francisco tonight. You got no Ricky Pearsall, no Juwan Jennings, no Brock Purdy, no Brandon Ayuk still. I don't think he's going to be ready for a while. You got Mac Jones throwing the ghost of MVS and DeMarcus Robinson. Like, what are we getting tonight?
No, reality, the 49ers should just get blown out. They just feel like they don't have anything left. They're pretty much running with the 2022 Chiefs wide receiving core and Christian McCaffrey, and I don't think that works out very well for them.
Definitely doesn't work with Mac Jones.
Yeah, it worked with Patrick Mahomes, but there's obviously a very, very large gap between Patrick Mahomes and Mac Jones. So I don't think Mac Jones is able to make it work. It really feels like that this should be a blowout, but I don't know. Those interdivision games are just so weird that anything can happen. But this just shouldn't be a good game, honestly.
I don't think so either. I broke down a lot of games this weekend. Finished the All-22. I watched every single football game from this past week. One of the things that was, I guess, most frustrating is the Jaguars are 3-1. And with that being said, I guess we have to think they're good. That's not what my eyes tell me. What my eyes tell me is Brian Thomas Jr. is a different player than he was last year. He had a play on the sideline that is absolutely inexcusable. And I don't know how much of the 49ers-Jaguars game you've seen, Brett, but there was a play on the sideline where any professional receiver, most college receivers, and a lot of high school receivers will know how to get 2 feet down. And he caught it almost like in stride, like almost like he was running up the field, 1 foot in and 1 foot not even close. No toe drag, no foot that landed. And it was a big play. And it was almost like they confused the referee because they're like, I think he was in. Oh, wait, no, he wasn't. He didn't even get his right foot down at all. And then later in the game, weird penalty. Trevor Lawrence throws, in my opinion, an awful interception. And it gets bailed out by a penalty. Brian Thomas Jr.'s got a 1.5 foot separation over the top with no safety help. And I put that on on TikTok, and I just love to get your take on that. But before I do, we welcome to the stage, Taking It Deep with the Godfrey.
What's up?
Good, Godfrey.
What's up, brother? All right, but we're talking about the 49ers-Jaguars game. I'm not sure if you've seen the clip I posted, Matt.
Always.
What? Okay, Brett. Let me know what you thought about. Did you seen the clip, right?
I did, yeah. Yeah. So about the Jaguars, it's funny because I don't think they're a good football team still. Like they just seem like a very, I don't know, I don't have a better word for it, but a fake 3-1 football team. I don't think that lasts. But the clip you showed, yeah, you have a single high safety look that's rotating over to the weak side of the field, and that left Brian Thomas Jr. in a one-on-one. I think even if it's even more contested, you still just give your best receiver a chance in that situation. But the fact that he had, that nice, little bit of separation, that's just a bad read by Trevor Lawrence. He's almost trying to fit that little like hook route in behind the linebackers. The problem is the linebacker wasn't fooled, and he just ended up throwing it right to him. So it was a really bad read by Trevor. You just got to give your best player a chance to make a play in that situation.
Matt, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either.
We're talking about the 49ers versus Jaguars game, and did you see the clip I posted on my TikTok?
I did not see that clip.
All right. I might as well share it one more time just so the listeners can see at home. and then Godfrey can give us his thoughts. I felt like it really breaks down Trevor Lawrence's issues as a quarterback. They won the football game. And like I said, I'm a very big Trevor Lawrence fan. I think that's very obvious. I think anybody that watches this show or listens to the show, gotten in arguments with people constantly. I think he's got absolute talent, but sorry, excuse my terrible camera work here, but I took a quick video of this and I thought it was really, really important. So I'm going to play it and then we'll get reactions. I'm going to play. I got to show you guys. Let me just go forward here. This should be 3rd and 15, Trevor Lawrence. Here's your problem, right? The 49ers are running cover one. It's very simple. They're running a cover one concept. They're going to show blitz. They're going to send 5 at the quarterback. They have 1 deep safety. See the 5 people in the line of scrimmage? They're all coming. 1 linebacker drops out. Lawrence steps up in the pocket, tries to force the ball across his body, and throws a pick. Now he gets bailed out by the interception. He gets bailed out by the flag. That's not for here nor there. I just want you to watch this play from this angle right here. So they're matched up. There's 1 linebacker truck. I want you to stop right here. He should be throwing this ball to the outside. Number 7 on the outside. You got your best receiver in Brian Thomas Jr. Man to man, and he's got a step. We'll just see this real quick. That's where the ball needs to go. He wants to throw the ball here with a linebacker underneath and force it. Watch how this plays out. God damn it. Hold on.
Laugh at me all you want.
There you go. Watch how this plays out.
Awful.
You see the hand up in the air? So, Godfrey, I watched that play and I just don't understand what Trevor doesn't see there. Like, I feel like it's so obvious. What do you feel?
And that was probably he wasn't going to be able to make a good pass in the position he was right there. He shouldn't have took that. He should have just threw it away if he didn't see the guy on the outside. I think he's panicking. I think he's trying to play hero ball. That's what I really think he's trying to do.
But if he's playing hero ball, why would you not throw the ball over the top? That's hero ball.
Well, I think he's trying to do more than he should, right? Like when I mean it
in the field, right? If I'm being honest with you, I don't think that's hero ball. I think hero ball would have been throwing the deep play that was double covered instead of going underneath. I think that's the exact opposite of hero ball. I think that's just bad quarterback play.
Yeah. I want to see him do better, for sure. And I do think he has some talent, but it just seems to be like, I don't know, man, if it's just he just has had a stable system. But this guy who's running the offense there is a guy that likes to run the ball too. So I mean, that should set up well for him. I don't. It's still early in the season.
3-1. Just don't. They don't look like a good offense. No. He finished the game 21-31. We're talking about the fact that Brian Thomas Jr. The question I ask about Brian Thomas Jr. is this, and I'm trying to be fair when I say this. I think he gave up on Trevor Lawrence.
You mean on that play?
No. Just like there was a play earlier in that game, Godfrey, where Brian Thomas Jr. just doesn't get his foot down, and it's 100% a play where I don't understand how you don't get your foot down.
Right.
Let me see if I can pull that back up. I have that too. Hold on, let me just see if I can get it real quick. It's very easy to get your foot down on a play versus the 49ers. You just didn't. I just wanted to get your take on. Do you think he's seen too many medicine balls from Trevor Lawrence that he's basically just not the same?
I think maybe he has a problem where he's seen too many balls where it should have been an easy throw to him in his mind, and he didn't get the opportunity. So he's just, a lot of receivers will end up doing that, disinterested. I didn't get that vibe from him, but it's a fair question to ask because maybe he did. I mean, that happens sometimes. Is he? Then you have to ask yourself, is he in question of losing the locker room? It seems so. The part of Jaguars football I watched this year, it seems like Trevor Lawrence will go on a drive and then there'll be a mistake toward the end, right? He's not finishing drives, right? And I've seen him go on. The Bengals game was a good example, right? I mean, that was like
terrible drop in that game.
Terrible drop, yeah.
But
the Bengals gave him every reason to lose that game. Bengals didn't dominate him, and I just feel like, it's like in between the 20s, we're okay. As soon as he gets into that or a high pressure situation, he's making the bad decision. But I've seen him make good decisions too. It's inconsistent.
100% inconsistent. Just wanted your take on that. I felt like that was a really interesting game. I did a lot of film. So for instance, Trevor Lawrence looked bad in a win, in my opinion, but it shows he didn't have an interception in the game because of the flag helped him out. It was a very, helpful flag. Whereas I thought Michael Penix Jr., even though they won, didn't look good. And I don't care what the stats say. I felt like that was a lot of screens. So when I broke down the film, watching the film is so important. It's so much everybody looks at stats. I understand some people don't have the time to just watch it, but Michael Penix went 20 of 26 for 313, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And most people would think that's a great game for Michael Penix Jr. He scored 34 points. I watched that football game. He was not good in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a 60-yard play to Bijan Robinson on a screen pass. It's a lot of plays that were just out of nowhere, right? 70-yard pass to Bijan Robinson on a screen pass. A 43-yard pass on a bubble screen to Drake London. So over 100 yards were screen passes.
Yep.
Okay. Any thoughts, comments?
No, say that.
Not really.
Let's say no. That's fair enough. That is why it's a lot of important. It's real important to watch, the film because even the stats need context behind them. And
I wanted to keep happening because I have shares of Bijan Robinson. Keep feeding him that rock. Keep giving them those screen passes. Give it to me. But yeah, there's definitely. I wasn't impressed by his performance. There's a lot of outliers in the first 4 weeks where it's like, oh, they're great. I don't know if you guys talked about the Packers yet, but that's supposed to be an all-world defense. And Cowboys showed up without CD Lamb. When's the last time we've seen a 40-40 tie?
I don't know I don't think it's ever happened.
Highest scoring tied game in NFL history.
Talk about kissing your sister, man. That's what that's. I don't know. I mean, should they get rid of ties in the NFL? Do they have to do something about that?
No, they shouldn't get rid of ties in the NFL.
What would the solution be? I guess that would be my question.
Keep playing.
Yeah.
I would like to see them go to college football overtime rules.
I like that, actually.
So that would I think that would produce a lot more action. People would love that, and I would prefer that. And another reason why too is because, and I heard Vic Fangio say it, that's something going on with the kicking balls, right? Or how they're managing them, because these balls are going a lot farther.
Yeah, the kicking balls are 100% going way further.
Yeah. So I want to, just when people were mad about Deflategate, I want to see people on top of this. I know there ain't any sexy names behind it because they're kickers, but I mean, I'm seeing 65. I'm seeing old man Nick Folk out there like, he's never hit a field goal this far. 58 with room to go. That was on Monday Night Football. 65 yards from Chase McLaughlin. I was like, what the hell? That was always a field goal where if you hit that bad boy, it was just getting over the goalpost. Now, Brandon Aubrey, I'm going to say he was doing that before they changed the ball, so I'm going to say he has the leg. He's one of those freaks. But everybody else that are hitting these long kicks, and, to me, that plays into overtime, that plays into potential. It's wild to me. I mean, I don't remember, and they must know it because that has to lead to kicks getting blocked too, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but when you're kicking, it starts at a lower trajectory when you're farther away, right?
Yeah, no,
Right.
100%.
So I mean, there weren't as many blocks as there was 2 weeks ago, but there's a block last week, and there's just, I guess they're juicing up special teams because, that's insanity to me. All the long kicks we're seeing, and it's not even like it's Brandon Aubrey's of the world. They're like old kickers are out there doing it. You know what I mean?
I do have another thing I need to show you video wise that happened this past week, and listen. We can go to boner of the week like we do on Wire to Wire. I'm shocked no one used this as their "you got to be kidding me" last night, but you guys got to watch this. This is
It's going to be called.
I don't think anybody had a worse week than Adonai Mitchell.
Oh yeah, that was he did the Deshaun Jackson almost.
Well, it's not just that. I want you to just watch this.
Big mistakes by Adonai Mitchell cost the Colts from starting the season 4-0, and they were pretty brutal. The first one was the start at the third quarter. The Colts are down 13-10, and Mitchell makes a great catch down the sideline, throws in a nasty spin move, and breaks a tackle, and he's basically walking into the end zone for what should have been a 76-yard touchdown. But instead of finishing the play, he starts celebrating way too early. He holds the ball out like it's already over and loses it before breaking the plane. And the ball falls back into the end zone, and what should have been 7 points turns into a touchback for the Rams. What should have been a highlight reel touchdown turns into a touchback that completely flips the momentum. And the Colts offense couldn't get anything going in that third quarter. Then fast forward to under 2 minutes left in the fourth, and the game's tied at 20. Jonathan Taylor rips off a 56-yard touchdown that could have been the dagger. But there's a flag on the play, and it's holding on Adonai Mitchell. And instead of going up by 7, the Colts have to punt it away. And the Rams take over and score to win the game. Colts fans were hoping year 2 would be Mitchell's breakout season. He's got the talent for sure, but mistakes like these are what's keeping him from being a good player. But do you think this loss was on Adonai Mitchell? Let me know in the comments. And
First of all, the loss is 100% on Adonai Mitchell. That question is so foolish. Do you think this loss is on Adonai Mitchell? Brent Gardner 3. Tell me.
That was 14 points off the board. Yeah, that's a massive swing. The touchdown arguably might have sealed it because you keep momentum, and who knows if the Rams recover. And yeah, that last run was the most maybe egregious hold you're going to see all week. He even tried to block him. He just went straight to holding him. Yeah, he's definitely probably the biggest reason that they lost, because taking 14 points off the board in that fashion, that's just inexcusable.
And you know what's crazy? The play in which he drops the touchdown, he makes an incredible play. That is on his highlights for the rest of his life if he scores a touchdown. Now it's on his lowlights for the rest of his life. That was an incredible catch. He mossed him, spun, got by 2 defenders, and then decided he wanted to celebrate too early and drops the ball. And he knew immediately. He tried diving on it before it fell out of the back of the end zone. That was one. But when I seen the hold, a part of me was like, oh, God, is this going to be one of those rigged games that they're trying to have the Colts lose? And then I watched the hold. And I'm like, oh, God, they had to call that. That was awful. That hold was atrocious. Like, he walked over and just grabbed him by his jersey and threw him down. Anybody in America could have seen that hold.
Yeah. Now, I think he probably would have been benched right away, right? But I think part of the reason he wasn't is because Alec Pierce was injured.
Josh Downs, Michael Pittman.
Yeah,
they still have receivers over there. Like, the guy is a good receiver, but like, you cannot. And listen, the first one, it slipped out of my hands. It's a mistake. And after that, man, that hold.
I think Downs is good. I think Pittman's good. I think Pierce is good. Actually, I just think this is the first time I know it sounds weird saying this, but Daniel Jones is a better passer than Anthony Richardson, and you can utilize the receivers more to their potential. But yeah, that was, and you know what? I picked the Colts to win, I believe, on the show last week, right? So I was watching, I was like, this mother effer just. I bet on them as the money line. They were going in as the underdog. All my other teams hit, and that was the linchpin that I needed to hit because it was the plus bet in the parlay, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, Oh, you got to be kidding me! I'm like, no, that rule's stupid. Come on, let's get rid of that rule. But it is the rule, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, did the ball Blake to play? I'm like, nope. I mean, that's such an asinine move. I would bench him if I was a coach, man. I'd be benching him all next week. I don't care.
Well, the Colts have some more issues. Did you guys see that starting cornerback Xavier Howard just abruptly retired yesterday?
How old is he?
There was just Xavier Howard. They're starting corner.
Wow.
Yeah, that caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that at all from him.
4 weeks into the season. Yeah, I'm done.
Do you ever wonder when this happens? Like, can it be they know they're going to fail a drug test or something, and then they say, screw it, I'm out before it even happens? I wonder that sometimes when these come out of nowhere. Is there a reason? It's like resigning at a job. You're cooked because they caught you and you resigned, right? It's almost like, I retired, I'm done. Like, the investigation's over. You're not playing. It's weird, man. Like, some people say, yeah, for religious reasons, but like, why in the middle? Why go through the training camp? Why go through this? And then, I don't know, if a family member got sick, I could get that. Maybe it's something like that. Right. But all of a sudden retire makes me think, maybe he was caught gambling on the premises.
It's crazy because, like, I'll show you the Instagram post that he made. He did like a whole, and it's him in a Dolphins jersey. That's what he was known as. But I want to point out a couple of things. He goes, throughout my career, I always played football for the love of the sport. I enjoyed everything that came with being part of the NFL. It was my passion for the game that drove me. I love and appreciate the Miami Dolphins for drafting me and giving me the chance to play football. I cannot thank the Indianapolis Colts enough for letting me continue to live out my dream, but my dream has now changed. I've been getting closer to God and asking that he directs my path. I'm a man of faith, and I believe wholeheartedly that he doesn't make mistakes. He has led me to ending my career. I am now putting God and my priorities first. When I was away from the game in 2024, I fell in love with taking my kids to school, doing activities with them, watching them grow up to the point that I'd always put my family after football. I'm no longer willing to do so. So today I'm retiring from the National Football League. My purpose has been fulfilled in the sport, but my kids are more important to me than football. I've had a hell of a career, and even though it's ending in a unique way, I'm cool with that because for once I'm putting my family first. I'm proud and excited about that. But you see her in the comments, Jalen Ramsey, legendary career, Pat Surtain, Miami Dolphins Twitter, Jeff Wilson Jr. Do you still feel the same way, Godfrey, or do you feel like that was just, don't be mad at me, but I'm quitting?
Nah, don't be mad at me, I'm quitting.
That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, dude, listen, because I'm going to put it this way. At least Andrew Luck had enough guts to do it for the start of the season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was hard. He was on the sideline. He didn't, it's like, hey, guys, you're going to have to go a different direction here. This guy waits till the season starts. So that's what tells me it's something abrupt. Like, nothing against anybody's faith here, right? But a lot of times I feel like people will use, like, God has a way as a crutch. Like, no, dude. Take your responsibility. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't God or your kids want you to finish your contract and not be a quitter? I don't know. Guardy 3, when you see that, you say, I fell in love with taking my kids to school. Are they not going to school next year? Or like, what am I missing?
Mm-hmm.
The timing is really weird. So obviously this comes after Sunday, which he allowed 7 receptions for 112 yards. Like,
yeah, that's what it is.
Really bad outing on Sunday. So
he got cooked.
I mean, I don't know if this, like, maybe he wants to spend with his family, but the timing of this is also like him realizing, like, yeah, maybe it's just time for me to hang it up. I might just be washed. So it's one of those things. I hope you have a great retirement, but I don't know. After watching him just kind of get tortured on Sunday and then abruptly retiring, it just feels like the stories don't add up here.
He was washed. He was. I mean, how many years was he in the league? 7, something like that.
I think it's 9, but let me check.
Okay, yeah, he was washed. I mean, listen, I have seen players retire that were legendary players. One comes to my mind, maybe not in the sport, but in baseball, Mike Schmidt retired.
9 years. That was really good.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head.
Yeah. Mike Schmidt, best third baseman of all time, retired. 1989, tried to play, and his knees couldn't just do it. He was emotional about it. And he told the truth. He's like, yeah, I'm retiring because I can't play up to my expectations. Now, that's obviously why this guy left. I didn't know what the stats were, but it sounds like he got absolutely cooked. And then he's taking his ball and going home. You know what I mean? And that's the difference between the veterans that play 12 to 13 years, like a Frank Gore, and guys like that. Because Frank Gore is willing to go through the war and keep pushing. And this guy, he gets lit up a little bit and he's embarrassed. So it was his pride and ego that made him retire. I don't want to hear about it's God's plan. Sorry, not buying it.
All right. I have another topic I want to get into, and this is something Godfrey is right at home with. Godfrey, I remember being on this show. I remember talking about this with you, and I remember you telling me I was wrong.
Which one was it?
Brett, after the Super Bowl, AJ Brown made a post about I thought the Super Bowl would be great. I thought I would love it more, but everybody kept trying, but took 48 hours or 2 weeks or whatever it was. He's like, but what really gets me is I like to dominate on the field. I like to look across that corner and know he can't touch me. I can pull up the whole post, but everyone told me, I'm like, bro, he's saying he wants the ball more. Like, he's literally saying I enjoy scoring a touchdown and catching the ball more than I do winning. And everybody's like, no. He's back on his grind. And then 4 games into the season, by the way, the Eagles have to be the most dysfunctional 4-0 team. Their offense isn't good. Their defense is underperformed. You want to hear something wild? Their offense is ranked 29. Their defense is ranked 24th, and the record is ranked 1.
They're the new Chiefs, right? That's what we were saying about the Chiefs for the past couple of years. Like, how the hell these fucking guys and Patrick Mahomes on their field?
Patrick Mahomes played decent.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is not. So I want to enlighten you to something. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game ended at 4:22. Okay? It's one of the last 1 o'clock games to end. At 6:02 p.m., less than 90 minutes. It said 90 minutes, not even 2 hours. He posts on Twitter, if you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. AJ Brown said today or yesterday, the post was not about the Eagles or Jalen Hurts. What? You were just sitting on the sideline at the end of the game or in the locker room getting dressed and somebody happened in your family where you didn't feel welcomed? What the hell could it be about, AJ? Are you out of your mind? Brett, I see you laughing. Help me understand. I love Jory. At least he didn't do it at halftime. Oh, I think that was about Vontae Davis. Okay.
That I feel like, he's not going to admit it. He's not going to say, yeah, this was about, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. He's not going to come out and, disrupt and nuke the chemistry quite like that. But it feels like it has to be, right? Like, he's not going to admit it, but unless he comes out and says it, like, I genuinely don't know what else this could be about. Like, this is coming off a game where the Eagles didn't complete a pass in the second half, 0 of 8. And I know after spending a whole afternoon just running 5-yard hitch routes, like, he's probably just not very happy and wants a bigger role. Like, I don't know what else it could be about, but that feels like it clearly had to be directed at the Eagles.
Yeah. Well,
I was right, please. That's all I want.
What you mean last year?
No, this year after the Super Bowl, when AJ Brown made that post, and you, Scally, Cottrell all told me I was wrong about AJ Brown post Super Bowl tweet.
Well, I mean, I think you're right now. I don't know if that's connected, but it definitely looks like it. I mean, the thing is I'd be almost okay with if he came out and said, "Yeah, I'm frustrated. I want the Rock more." I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. If he was like, "I'm a competitor."
Yeah, nobody has a problem with that.
I want the Rock more. I'm a competitor. Give it to me, right? No one would have a problem with that. But when you do this passive aggressive haiku, hyperbole crap where like, it's not really about you guys, but it is. And, I mean, and he did that because you're going to look like a real dick because you're 4-0. You know what I mean? And the thing is, he's being impatient because the first 4 weeks of the season, I don't think most people look good in the NFL because there's not a preseason anymore. They don't, you know what I mean? That's been like that for years now. I could get his frustration. I understand. He definitely has talent. I'm starting to see people say he lost his step. I don't know how true that is.
He didn't lose his step.
Yeah, I don't think he did either.
Second half versus the Rams.
I don't think he lost his step either. But I'm just saying, you start seeing that stuff pop up, and listen, man. There's other ways to voice your displeasure. So, a lot of people think, he's probably going to end up leaving here. I don't know how the Eagles can do that, but
you can't. They own first of all, he's not leaving here. And
Right.
by the way, I want to finish the story, and I want to go to Gardy 3. He said yesterday to the media, he said, first off, I want to start off by saying, obviously, Sunday after the game, I let my frustrations boil over. I didn't speak to the media. I had a chance to correct my frustration. I continue to let it boil over. That's on me. I take full accountability. My message on Twitter wasn't directed at anyone in the building, not my coaches, not the quarterback, my GM, nobody. I take accountability for that, but I think it's fair to, want the ball and to get us going, like last week against the Rams, I caught the sluggo, got the offense going. The next play opened up for Dallas Goedert, who scored a touchdown because the safety drifted to my side. He basically went on to say, yeah, I was frustrated. Yeah, I was mad. But the tweet, I didn't speak to the media, but the tweet wasn't about the game. Gardy, help me understand.
I wish I could, but I don't understand it either because he goes, the tweet wasn't about the game, but I need to get the rock more. Like, isn't that what you were saying with the tweet? They're not listening to you and you need to get more involved. Like, it just feels very almost contradicting. Like, at this point, I'm just kind of glad he came out the next day and said, yeah, I want the rock more, but to try to go, yeah, the tweet wasn't about the offense or the team, and then proceed to pretty much confirm, yeah, I'm frustrated. It was kind of about the offense and the team, and just the span of 2 sentences is pretty wild.
Well, I mean, and the thing is everybody would agree with him on that. That's what's wild about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody would be like, yeah, you're out of pocket for not wanting the ball more. I mean, he's a competitor, right? You want that from him, but yeah. I mean, that's not the way to go about it. It's very passive aggressive, very like, I don't know, man. I just, now he put himself in a position. You can't be reading any more books on the sideline. There can't be, none of that bull.
Well, he made that author so rich. That book sold out everywhere. Philadelphia fans are nuts. They all brought it to the parade. Like, he was reading a book on the sideline. What? You're laughing. They did this.
It's true. It's true. I know people that make like sports artwork, and they talked about going to different cities, and they're like, oh, they don't buy shit out here. I come to Philly. You know what I mean? So it's true. I don't even remember the name of that book, and nor would I have bought that book. But I do know there's a bunch of nut jobs that would probably have sitting on their mantle AJ Brown jersey and like a little sacrifice counter. Yeah, man, he's got to. I think he's a good player, but they got to learn. They got to rein him in. The locker room's got to take care of that. You know what I mean?
Here's the Instagram post, Gardy 3, that I said. This is what he posted a week after the Super Bowl. After a few days, I've had time to reflect on being a champion. I tried to feel how everyone made it seem to be a champion, and unfortunately, it was short-lived. 2 days to be exact. Laugh out loud. I never been a champion at the highest level before, but I thought my hard work would be justified by winning it all. It wasn't. My thrill for this game comes when I dominate. It's the hunt that does it for me. It's when the DB drops his head and surrenders because he can't F with me. The intense battles, early mornings, late nights, sacrifices. I love putting smiles on people's faces. Don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. It's the journey that I love most. Back to work. By the way, he better get used to not getting the ball, because I got news for you. They're playing Patrick Surtain this week. The reigning, defending Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain, this week. So I guarantee you, Patrick Surtain's following him around.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's up, Kyle? How you feeling, buddy? Appreciate you joining.
I'm good. I'm good. I got coming for at least a little bit.
The ATL traffic getting you.
It got me for sure.
We're talking about AJ Brown and his comments after the game. And then the funny part to me was after the comments after the game was, oh, yeah, I was really frustrated. I apologize, but the tweet wasn't about the team or the quarterback or anybody here.
Yeah, I feel like when you do that, it makes it seem like it was somewhat about the team. Like, you should have just left it up there and, let it be. By pulling it back, it kind of makes it look worse. My whole thing with it is like, y'all are winning. That should be good enough. But I understand where he was like, the offense is struggling, just throwing the ball because I want that pressure. I get that, but save that for when you lose a couple of games.
Mike Tomlin would have said, "Shut your ass up." That's what he would have said to him.
It was just like, yeah, y'all are winning. Like, just go along for the ride, and your opportunities will come. Because last thing you want is Hurts forcing him the ball over and over just to make him happy.
But they did at the end of the last game, and they didn't.
But I'm just saying, you don't want that to become
I saw
a
that a
regular
lot, right?
thing, game in and game out. He's just forced into AJ Brown just to make him happy. You don't want that.
I'm pretty sure there is something we don't know about where he wasn't happy at halftime or on the sideline, because they definitely were forcing the ball to him at a certain point. And you know what? It threw for whatever success they were having on the offense that day, it threw it all out of rhythm. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it was AJ's fault, but that's the thing about the Eagles team. You can't have someone on there where you have to force the ball to them to keep them happy. You know what I mean? Like, the dude's paid, right? You're gonna get your turn, and I just feel like, it's not a good look. Obviously he's an interesting character, and this is probably some of the reasons why he was traded from Tennessee. And guess what? Eagles knew that, and this is what they're taking on. So you need the veteran leadership there. You probably. There's no Graham there. There's no, Fletcher Cox. There's no, there's all kinds of stuff that's not there anymore. But there's enough leadership on a team where they should be able to quell this, in my opinion. But I think it's going to be something that's going to happen like every 3 or 4 games, unless he's getting like 12 targets and 8 catches every game. I don't think he's going to be happy. I mean, fans say it too. When I'm at the Eagles game, they're like, "Oh, how come we're not throwing it to AJ? We're not throwing it to AJ, right?" Like, and I look more at like, well, we still haven't really adjusted to Mekhi Becton not being there anymore. And that's really what's hurting
the entire offensive line's played worse. That's not here nor there.
Yeah.
For them to be 4-0 after the first 4 games, they should be thanking their lucky stars. And to be honest with you, they've not played good football. So if they're 4-0, they're not playing good football. Their offensive line's not playing well. What are you going to say? I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled about that, right?
Yep.
All right, let's get into this week. Guys, Thursday night, I know you guys are really excited about this game. The 49ers are running out there. No Purdy, no Juwan Jennings, no Ricky Pearsall, no Brandon Ayuk. Mac Jones and company playing at LA this week. Who do you guys like in the game tonight?
Oh, we're talking about this game? I would go with the Rams.
Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to make an argument against picking the Rams. I got to go with the Rams.
But they got C-Mac and MVS and Kendrick Bourne.
Don't forget about Sky Moore.
Sky Moore legacy game. Legacy.
Yeah,
Sky Moore, man.
Hey, this receiving core won a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Nothing changed, right?
Jesus Christ. Except the fact that Mac Jones is playing quarterback and not Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
George Kittle, a.k.a. Travis Kelce, is out too.
Yeah, that team is a mash unit right now.
They're 3-1, and the only game they lost was to the Jaguars, who they could have won that game too.
Yeah, the Jaguars pulled that one out, like special teams. That they I was surprised. I thought the way that game was going, they were going to lose.
Yeah, I think we all got the Rams.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some more pertinent games this weekend. the Cleveland Browns made a change at quarterback. They're going to start Dylan Gabriel this week. The fun part about this is they made the decision to tell the team Wednesday morning on the flight over to London. Dylan Gabriel is going to start, and his first start is going to be against Brian Flores' defense.
Mm.
Are the Cleveland Browns making the right choice here?
No. Like, it's like we all knew you had Flacco as the starter for a reason, to take all the lumps of the early season and then I guess decide between Dylan and Shador who might be ready. But it's like they're making this rash decision midstream for I don't know what reason. Because I don't know, unless you think Dylan Gabriel is like this diamond in the rough.
Joe Flacco was brutal last week. I mean, brutal.
Well, I mean, so what's Dylan Gabriel going to be this week?
I agree.
Like, nobody was looking at that Browns team and going, you know what? They're a quarterback away, and maybe Dylan Gabriel's that quarterback. It's like, no. The reason why you're in this position is the talent on the team just isn't there. So if Flacco gets beat up this week, next week, 2 weeks from now, okay, so what? We weren't going to win a lot of these games anyway. So now you're throwing Dylan Gabriel out there, and we already know with the Shador stuff off the field, it's like, are y'all just trying to appease a section of the fan base that might be done with Joe Flacco? Or are y'all really about some process that I don't know what it is, but like y'all are getting paid to, direct this team somewhere. And it just seems like y'all are just doing whatever like out of the blue. Like I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Cardi 3.
It feels like if they literally would have just waited a week, it would have went a lot better, right? Going against Brian Flores is a hard task for even veteran quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just so good at disguising coverages. That man is a sicko on defense. So next week they play the Steelers. I get it. That's a rivalry game. It's intense, but the Steelers are not as creative on defense. Their defense hasn't looked up to snuff this year. I feel like defensively speaking, that would have been a much easier matchup. Or the week after that, they play the Dolphins. That would have been a great starting point. So I feel like you probably should have just waited at least a week, because at this point, if you lose another game with Flacco, like, does it really hurt you at this point? I think what should be prioritized is the development of their young quarterbacks. And it just felt like they rushed to make this judgment call, which could very well backfire on the development of Dylan Gabriel.
My favorite part about the press conference was the first 3 questions weren't about Dylan Gabriel. Did you guys see that? It's incredible. So he announces that Dylan Gabriel is going to be starting. They said that the first question was, who would be quarterback 2? He said Joe Flacco. Was there any consideration for Shador Sanders to be quarterback 2? He said, no, Joe Flacco is quarterback 2. Then he said, is there something that Shador is not doing that would not allow him to be quarterback 2? And he goes, I'm not talking about Shador Sanders. And then, Rex Ryan did the thing where he went off on Shador, and Shador had the interview where he basically lip synced and said, you can basically say I said whatever you want at this point. Godfrey, the Browns, how dysfunctional are they?
They're pretty dysfunctional, but Deshaun Watson didn't work out, unfortunately for them. And, maybe that's a black cloud hanging over the organization. But, I don't really blame the coaching staff. Where are you going with Joe Flacco? You got to show some kind of life or you're out of there.
Yeah.
I don't think Kevin Stefanski is a bad coach. I think he's just had bullshit groceries to work with. And the defense is playing at a high level. I think they've been playing really good ball. And if you don't try to make a change, you're going to lose the whole locker room at a certain point. I mean, listen, I would have took Dylan Gabriel over Shador Sanders if I'm seeing in camp training camp, practice and all that he's the better quarterback. And, maybe Shador gets in there, but the reporters are trying to troll too. I mean, that's it. That's like a question because it's a question. I could have been my first day on a job. I'm going to be like, yeah, I got a question about Shador Sanders. Come on. They're really not digging deep there. And I just think, Shador didn't do himself any favors, and living under the legacy of his father is going to be hard. But take a shot with him in a couple weeks. I don't know, but it is dysfunctional. It's sad because their defense is good. And
Very
they got,
good.
and if they could get a guy that's serviceable, really, if I was them, I'd be scanning the league for a veteran quarterback that I could bring in somewhere to play. If you don't believe in those kids, I gotta feel like
They had one. Kenny Pickett was in the building. They drafted 2 quarterbacks. No one told them they had to draft a quarterback in the 3rd round and the 5th round and make that shit work. That was stupid.
I agree. They shouldn't have did that. Kenny Pickett, he could have been a holdover. I maybe take one in the 5th, but in the 3rd, and Dylan Gabriel is a 3rd round pick, so maybe they look at him as a possible future pick. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he lights it up. Maybe he gives him some juice. Isn't Dylan Gabriel like one of those guys that played college football for like 9 years?
Yes.
How old is he? Like
26.
So he gets the Chris Winkie Award then.
Hold on, let me get his age.
So Chris Winkie was old.
24. He turns 25 this year.
I mean, that's not awful, but he was in college for a while.
He was. Let's go into the 1:00 games real quick. Brett, I want to start with you. Best 1:00 game is Denver at Philly. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make it a Philadelphia Eagles thing. It's the best 1:00 game.
Fair.
A lot this week sucked. I want to be very clear when I say this. The Giants are playing New Orleans. That's a toilet bowl. The Cowboys are playing the Jets. Oh, geez. Miami's playing Carolina, and Houston's playing the Baltimore practice squad. There's no other 1:00 game to talk about. Eagles, Broncos. Who do you guys have? Am I wrong when I say that? Double tap slated game. Red zone's going to be awful at 1:00. Just watch the Eagles, Broncos game.
Oh, hey, look, Wan'Dale Robinson screens are going to be in stock on Red Zone on Sunday. But I completely agree. This is definitely the best 1:00 game, and I'll take the Eagles. I think it's going to be tough, but I think the Eagles will use Saquon Barkley, do enough ground control, and Patrick Surtain will probably take A.J. Brown, but I trust Devontae Smith to win his one-on-ones on the other side, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring, grounded-out game, but I got Philly.
Godfrey, who you got?
I got Philly. I think Dallas Goedert's going to have another big game. I think, that's the tight end. It's Vance Joseph there as a defensive coordinator, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he tends to have a tight end funnel to the middle of the field type of defense. So I see. He practiced today. Eagles are going to win 3.5. Probably would go 3 if you're going to go spread, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a good game. They have a good defense, but the Eagles can't. They can't make any mistakes like they made and get away with in the past couple of weeks with this squad. So I think.
No, I have the Eagles as well. I just feel like they're the better team in this matchup. I agree. It's probably going to be a close game with both defenses kind of holding their own, but I just feel like the Eagles make more plays than Bo Nix and the Broncos offense. So give me the Eagles.
Anybody here watch Wire to Wire last night? If you didn't, it's okay.
Yeah, I saw some of it.
So the trivia question I gave last night was name the 11 quarterbacks that Bo Nix has beaten. Name the 11 quarterbacks that the Denver Broncos beat since Bo Nix has been their starting quarterback. Anybody want to play that game real quick?
Sure. It's going to be tough.
What?
Yeah.
So all I want you guys to do, we'll go until you guys have 3 strikes. We'll start with Kyle. You got an easy one for last week, and then we'll go around the horn until we get to run out or to everybody has 3 strikes. So Kyle, you can use last week. You can use week 1. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Give me a quarterback that the Broncos have beat.
They beat Cam Ward.
They did beat Cam Ward. That is 1. Right.
I think
Monday night. Giving you a hint.
I thought they beat the Chiefs last year. Didn't they? Did
Sure.
they beat Mahomes?
No, they did not. Strike 1.
I know.
Gimme. God, what'd you say?
Who did they beat? They beat Jake Browning.
They beat Jake Browning. That's correct on Monday night. So that's 1-1. Already 3-0. Back to you, Kyle.
I know. Okay, so I believe they beat.
Which about this year?
Did they beat
last year and this year?
Yeah. Did they beat Aiden O'Connell?
Aiden O'Connell, not on the list.
Okay.
He's not the Raiders quarterback they beat. That's
Okay,
it.
I knew it was somebody over there.
Strike
Okay.
one for you. Brett, give me a quarterback that Bo Nix has beaten in his career. At Denver.
So, you know,
At Denver.
I'll say, you know what? I'll finish out the division because I think they beat the Chargers last year. Did they beat Herbert?
They did not. Strike two. Godfrey.
Didn't they beat the Carson Wentz Chiefs
They
last
did
year?
beat Carson Wentz Chiefs. That is the correct answer. Kyle.
Like I know the theme is like they beat like bad quarterbacks. I'm trying to think of who.
Yep.
though.
Think of the worst quarterbacks you can think of. You'll
Okay.
fill up the list.
Let's go.
I mean,
Because oddly enough, when Brett said Herbert, I was thinking, did they beat like Easton Stick?
No.
Oh,
A strike three for you. Or strike two for you.
yeah.
Give me strike three, Brett, and I'll just read off the rest of the list.
Oh, yeah. They beat Kenny Pickett.
Nope. Give me one, Godfrey, and I'll read off the list of the rest. After you guys
Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler. That's another one.
Yeah.
Godfrey knows his Bo Nix quarterbacks. Let me
Kyle,
read.
anybody else? Any other guesses?
I'll guess. Let's go. How Michael Penix.
No. So funny you say that because that's one of the answers from last night's trivia. Godfrey for the win. Give me one more.
Oh fuck. I think I'm running out here.
Worst quarterback that's currently rostered in the NFL right now.
Didn't it beat Joe Flacco on the Colts? Was he on the Colts last year?
No.
Damn.
Kyle, go for strike three.
I know.
Let's see.
Worst quarterback currently rostered in the NFL.
I know I'm trying. Oh, Richardson.
Anthony Richardson. That's correct.
Okay.
Give me another one, Godfrey.
Oh, it was Anthony Richardson. Okay, I thought he was benched by them. Bryce Young. I know they beat Bryce Young.
Another one. Here are the list of quarterbacks that Bo Nix has beaten as a starter. Baker Mayfield, that's the best one he's beaten.
Okay.
That was in Denver. Aaron Rodgers, that was the 10-9 game in New York that he had negative passing yards in the first half. If you don't remember that game, I do.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew was the Raiders quarterback that you were thinking of when you guys said Aiden O'Connell. Spencer Rattler, Bryce Young, Kirk Cousins, Jameis Winston, Anthony Richardson, Carson Wentz, Cam Ward, and Jake Browning.
Mm.
Yeah, you're right. That Broncos defense is vicious. I got the Eagles.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, let's move on. 4:00 games. Not really that many good ones. Tennessee's going to play Arizona. Pass. Detroit plays Cincinnati. Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels is coming back. Washington versus the Chargers. Who you guys got in that one?
Chargers are starting to get beat up, but I'm gonna put it on Chargers. I'll say the Chargers get it done. Yo,
Chargers
Jaden Daniels coming back. He'll be a little rusty.
Back. No Terry McLaurin though.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers.
Okay. Guardy 3.
I'll take the Chargers as well. They now have a week to adjust to Joe Alt not being there, which will be huge. And I think Justin Herbert will be a lot smarter with the football and not turn it over like the Giants game. So give me the Chargers.
Godfrey.
It's really hard for me to take the Chargers after they lost to the Giants last week. I mean,
hey, those are Jackson Dart's Giants, though.
Yeah, right. But I'm going to go Chargers. I just don't see 2 in a row from there. And, I just don't see it. I mean, the Commanders, they got holes. There's some depth problems. I mean, you're rolling out Jeremy McNichols at running back. Yuck. You're rolling, there's nothing. You got a tight end. McLaurin's hurt. Diami Brown. Who do you fear? They're a pretty stingy defense, and I don't know. Jaden Daniels is going to have to run his behind off, I think, to win if they win. So I don't think it's going to happen.
Go Chargers, go! Although I'd probably pick the Commanders if Terry McLaurin was playing.
Mm-hmm.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the Seattle Seahawks in probably the game of the week. Terrible game. Buccaneers at Seahawks. Who you got, Godfrey?
Seahawks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks as well. The 12th man, that defense is pretty good. Hoping Darnold is, careful with the ball, but I'll take the Seahawks.
Guardy 3.
Yeah, I'll take the Buccaneers. It'll be a tough. I think it'll be a really close game. But I'll put my trust in Baker, even though Jackson Smith and Jigba has been coming along big time for the Seahawks. But I'll go Tampa.
I'm going Seattle. I think that they're the better football team, and I think they're playing at home. And Mike McDonald's got that defense playing inspired. By the way, Tariq Woolen's going to get moved. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football. I actually like this game. I called it last week. My blowout of the week, the New England Patriots. And what were they? They were the blowout of the week. It's 2 straight weeks I called the blowout of the week. I said Seattle over New Orleans. Last week it was New England over the Carolina Panthers. Who do you guys got? The game is in Buffalo. No one circles the wagon quite like the undefeated Buffalo Bills. I'll take the Buffalo Bills playing at home in Orchard Park. Let Kyle go last. It's his squad.
I'll take the Bills, but I don't think
they're excited about it.
I don't think they cover. I think it's going to be close.
That's a good game for Kyle then.
Yeah.
Say, I'll take the Bills, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people expect. What can I say? Vrabel's got that Patriots team playing very inspired football, and while I don't think they have enough to beat the Bills, I think they have enough to make them sweat a little bit.
I love that. I hope that Sunday Night Football game's good. Kyle, tell me it's going to be good. Tell me why.
Well, I think it's going to be good because the Patriots are slowly building confidence each week. You're looking at Drake May. He's, I think, the league leader in completion percentage. He's being smart with the ball. That's going to be big because against Buffalo, you can't turn it over. Buffalo has James Cook going right now. The Patriots let Chuba Hubbard run a little bit too much for my liking last week, so that's a spot on the field where they got to tighten up, but I feel like Vrabel will have them ready. I believe the Bills will win, but I'm like, you guys, I think the Patriots will have a good showing. It will be a good game, and it'll be a lot closer than, like I see it's like 8.5 on FanDuel. I think it's closer than that.
7.5 on my board. Monday Night Football. The Kansas City Chiefs head into Everbank Stadium and take on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All I gotta say about that game is the fuck. Like,
I mean, the 3-1 Jaguars take on the 2-2 Chiefs. The Jags got to be favored, right? They're obviously the better football team. Chiefs are 3.5 points. I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I got the Chiefs. Spagnuolo's going to blitz the hell out of Jacksonville, and Brian Thomas Jr. looks like he's quitting football. He's the next to retire.
Yeah,
I get the Chiefs. They figured out a lot against the Ravens, although a lot of teams probably would at this point. So I feel like they ride that wave and beat the Jags.
Guardy 3.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go the Chiefs. The Jags, like I said, haven't really blown me away with how they've looked, and if the Chiefs play like they did last week, this could be a bit of a blowout.
Who did the Chiefs play last week?
The Ravens destroyed them.
Yeah.
Ravens practice squad. I'm kidding. But I do have one more thing I want to share with you guys before we wrap up. And we're a little over. Oh, well. Screw you guys. It's our podcast. We'll do what we want. But I have one more thing I want to show you guys. The Giants got their first win of the season. Their first win of the season. And TikTok met a new star in New York. You guys ready?
Yep.
Big Blue. What's going on, Big Blue? Hey, it's 4-4-6 in a trap. Big Dubs. Appreciate you guys for the support. Blue, wasn't easy, wasn't clean. Found a way to win the game and pull out a big dub. So appreciate you guys for your support. On to the next week.
Never change, Cam Scattaboo. Never change. It's Big Blue. 4-4 and the 6 are up in the trap. God, what the fuck?
I feel like Cam Scattaboo looks like a future Jiffy Lube mechanic. You know,
I feel like Cam Scotty looks like a future poster model for CTE.
Yeah, that too. I mean, yeah, listen. Anytime there's a new star or, you know, a new New York star, he's going to get glazed so hard. It's going to be unbelievable. And the glazing has begun. You know, they won a game they shouldn't have. I mean, these guys, this fan base glazed Tommy DeVito for 4 or 5 weeks. Like, you know, they're thirsty. Hide your sisters and your daughters, man. They're thirsty. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I don't know. I hope the kid does good. I like to see competitive football, but yeah, weird. I don't know.
I mean, it just makes you think about the locker room. You have Jameis Winston, now you have Scatterboo. You have Dart, who shows some
The
personality.
Eagles fan, Jameis
like,
Winston, that admitted while wearing a thrift store throwback Giant starter jacket. I don't know if you guys saw that clip or not. It's like, I know you guys might like this, but I was an Eagles fan when I was growing up. I was like, really? He said that. I'm not joking. That was just recent. That locker room must be crazy. I can't even like. If you're a veteran in there, you're probably like, fuck, I'm retiring after this. It's my last season, you know.
I can't, bro. It's gonna be a lot. I think it'll be funny to see how that breaks down. But yeah, we'll see how the Giants do. They have the Eagles next week on Thursday Night Football. So after they have that rough and tough game with the New Orleans Saints, they're gonna play Philadelphia next week, and we'll see how that plays out for them. Guys, that's all we got. Before we wrap up, I'm going to ask you guys this every single week. I want your NFL spread lock of the week. What do you got?
So many shitty games this week.
Guys, terrible games. I got one for you, though. Would you like to go first?
Yeah. Give me the Ravens at plus 2.5 at home versus the Texans.
Right. You like the Ravens. Okay.
Wait. They don't have Lamar. That's right.
No Lamar. No anybody.
You know what? I'm still sticking to it. How about that?
No problem. Guardy 3. Who's your lock of the week?
You know, I feel bad because Jory's in the comment section, but give me the Cardinals plus, minus 7.5 over the Titans. That team is so uninspiring that I just think the Cardinals will probably clear that rather easily.
Can I change my pick? Can I change my pick?
Sure.
I just realized who the Ravens were again, and I'm having buyer's remorse. I'm going to go with Justin Fields and the Jets, who are the underdog in New York, to beat the Cowboys, who are riding high off their 44 tie. And
that game was fixed Monday night. You're not going to convince me anything differently.
Dude, I got avoided. I had Micah Parsons for 1 sack, and it was a boost. And the Packers winning, and I got avoided, and they gave me my money back because they didn't factor in a tie. I was like, wow, I get my money back because it was a tie? Good look.
Kyle, what's your lock of the week?
It's kind of tough sledding here. I'll take the Vikings. Well, like I said, FanDuel has it minus 3.5. I'll take the Vikings minus 3.5 over the Browns.
That's the game I would dance on because Ginger Jesus shows up. Things can go the other way real quick.
Carson Wentz will throw the ball to the other team. That's why I like that game. Last week I told you the New England Patriots were going to dominate the Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
Carolina Panthers are getting some players back this week. Miami Dolphins lost Tyreek Hill. Give me the Carolina Panthers at home versus the Miami Dolphins. They're home dogs versus the Dolphins who lost Tyreek Hill. Excuse me, miss. I'll take the Carolina Panthers. That's all we got this week. Any final thoughts, gentlemen? Fuck your shit.
Check out the N One podcast in about 45 minutes. Mo and I are going to be tier ranking every single forward in the every single starting forward in the NBA. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, guys, if you have to take that L in October, one weekend where you got to go to the damn pumpkin patch, this is the week to do it. This is the week. Okay, this is the sacrifice week. Go to the pumpkin patch. You'll look like a hero. But let's go to pumpkin patch today. I know football's on, but today's your day, right? You're set for the rest of the season. Trust me, because you ain't missing shit in this slate. You can watch the one game on the phone that's going to be good and be like, all right, I'm good.
Terrible week.
Yeah.
Outside the Eagles game, just go somewhere.
Awful. Even the Monday, you can take off the whole week. Monday nights is like what? And like the whole week is trash.
MLB baseball season's here. Kyle, what any final thoughts?
No, I mean, look, go Sox, number one. Got game 3 against the Yankees. I'm hoping they pull it through. But yeah, you know, I was a little bit late, but it was good to still come on here and talk. So go Pats, go Sox. I'm here for it.
How about the Padres being eliminated with that bullpen? Love it. Go Cubbies. But thank you guys for tuning in this week's Sideline. I'm the NFL GSG Malls. That's the Prince of Production, Kyle Edwards. He's not guarding the 2, he's guarding the 3. And then we ended off with taking it deep with the Godfrey. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are